So Djokovic and Cuevas, they're facing off in the second round of Roland Garros. Now, Djokovic this year, they've said he just won a title in Serbia on the clay, and he also made the final of Rome, so he's in pretty good form this year. And in his first round match yesterday against Sangren, he beat him in straight sets, so that was encouraging. He played really well in that match, and is going to be hoping to carry that over to the second round, because he is one of the favorites to win this tournament. Now, Cuevas this year wasn't really having a great year at the start, especially on the clay court. So the clay court season, he wasn't really having a great year, but he managed to turn fortunes around in Geneva and made the semis. And in the French Open, he also beat Lucas Pouille in straight sets for the loss of only 3 games. So that was impressive from Cuevas. And now he plays the world #1 Djokovic in the second round. Now, these two players, they have met before. They've never met before, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head. Now, I think that once again, Djokovic will win this in straight set. I think that while Cuevas is a fine clay court player and he is great on the clay, I think that Djokovic is just better, and the way he defeated Sangren yesterday shows that he is playing really well. So I'm going to pick Djokovic to win this one in straight sets. So James Duckworth and Ricardos Berankis, they're facing off in the second round of Roland Garros. Now, Duckworth this year hasn't really been the best. He's not really known as a clay court player, so I was actually shocked that he beat Caruso in 4 sets, because I was definitely expecting Caruso to win, but Duckworth was able to do it, and I was shocked because Duckworth isn't really much of a clay court player, more of a hard court player. So I was shocked, but he managed to get it done, and we're hoping to transfer some good form to the second round. Now, his opponent also is more of a hardcore player, but his opponent impressed by beating the 29th seed, Ugo Humbert, in 4 sets. I didn't expect that to happen as well. And he'll be bringing confidence, because just defeated a seeded player, he'll be confident that maybe he can at least have a third round appearance here for the first time. Now, these two opponents, they have never met before, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head. But they met in the qualifying. Well, they actually didn't. They were supposed to meet in the qualifying event in 2014 in Roland Garros, the last qualifying round. But Duckworth won that by walkover. So walkovers don't count. It didn't count as an official match. But they were supposed to play in 2014 in Roland Garros. It was a walkover for Duckworth, but I don't really consider that much of like a match, because they didn't play. They were supposed to, but they didn't, because they had to withdraw due to injury. So now my prediction, I think that Berankis wins this, just because I think that while Duckworth is good, he's much better in the hard courts, and his win over Caruso was really surprising, to say the least. I think that Berankis is a tad better, even if he's still better on the hard court, he's a tad better on the clay than Duckworth is. So I'm going to pick Berankis to win this in 4 sets. So De Minaur and Cecchinato, they're facing off in the second round of Roland Garros, a rematch of last year's first round match. De Minaur this year started off the year in great fashion. He won a title in Antalya, but he hasn't really been at his best on the clay court, which is to be expected. He's not really a clay court player, so it's expected that he struggled a little bit on the clay court. But he has had some impressive matches. He did push Dominic Thiem in Madrid, and he had to win it in 2 tight sets. So that was a good, encouraging match. And in his first match against Travaglia, he beat him in straight sets, so that's encouraging. And he then plays Cecchinato, who he played last year. Now, Cecchinato has just made a final in Pharma, and he lost a quarter in straight sets. Now, he played his first time match against Uchiyama, and it was surprising because Uchiyama is a really great clay court player as well, but he managed to beat him in 4 sets. He'll be hoping to carry over that confidence to De Minaur, but it's going to be a tough match because both men while he's better on the clay than De Minaur is, De Minaur also has shown that he can be effective on clay. Slowly he's improving, so it's going to be something to keep an eye on. Now these two players, they have met before, as I was saying. just earlier. They met in the French Open last year. But other than that, they've met 5 times, and de Minaur leads the head-to-head. They met. Their most recent meeting, as I've said, was last year in Roland Garros. Cecchinato won that one in straight sets. On the clay course, Cecchinato has won each of their meetings, and de Minaur has won each of them on their hard courts and the grass courts. So I think that Cecchinato will win this. I think that while de Minaur played really well to beat Trevally in the first round, I think that Cecchinato just has he's just better on the clay courts. And I think that Cecchinato he's shown some signs of life in 2021. He's playing pretty good. So I'm going to pick Cecchinato to win this in 4 sets. So Nishioka and Musetti, they're facing off in the second round of Roland Garros. Now Nishioka has actually he's one of the underrated clay court players. He's not as good on the clay, but he can have some good results on the clay. He did make the quarterfinals of Pharma. He made the quarterfinals of Lyon, and he also managed to have some good. He also made the last 32 in Madrid. So he can play on the clay. Right, he has heavy topspin on his lefty forehand, which allows him to be competitive on the clay. And he gets to play Musetti, who scored a great opening win. He played David Goffin in the first round, and as I predicted, he scored a great opening win. He won in straight sets 6-0, 7-5, 7-6, and that match was impressive because he was playing a player that was ranked way higher, but he still managed to win. So that was his first appearance at Grand Slam level, and he was able to make the most of it. I would say he won in straight sets. Now he gets to play Nishioka. Now these two players actually just met very recently. They met last week, and Nishioka has the head-to-head advantage. They met in Pharma on the clay court. Nishioka won that one in straight sets. That was last week. Now my prediction, I think that Musetti will get revenge. I think that Musetti is I think that while Nishioka scored a good win as well against Tsonga, and while he is good on the clay, I think that Musetti will win this just because I think he's going to be motivated to do well in a slam. I think that he played really well against David Goffin. I think that gives me confidence that he can spring the upset. So I'm going to pick Musetti to win this in 4 sets.